were able to save it. And also thank you to the media for the coverage. So that was a great story, and just a year later, and they're back. And I think it makes us all appreciate, we needed to keep a watchful eye on our program and do everything we can to get the exposure. I know the media, you have helped us do that. But thank you, Neil, for making this possible. As far as the 2012 Stanford baseball program, last year at this time we knew we were going to play 3 or 4 freshmen, and we knew we were going to probably have some ups and downs. I think we did, but this year is different as far as our position players are concerned. We have 7 of the 8 starting position players are back. They will start, and I'll go through that a little bit. The returning players, our first baseman, Brian Regueras, a sophomore, consistent player for us. He'll be starting at first, where he started last year. At second base, Lonnie Capola, a sophomore second baseman. He'll be back starting in second. Kenny DeKroger, local player from Menlo School, will be at shortstop. He's a junior. Stephen Piscotti, junior third baseman, will again start at third base. Left field will be Tyler Gaffney, junior outfielder, also a football player on our outstanding football team. Center field will be Jake Stewart, junior center fielder, will be again in center. And then right field sophomore Austin Wilson. So those 7 players give us valuable experience, and we feel they're good offensive players. I think the question mark will be at the catching spot. Last year, I think Zach Jones, who graduated, caught almost every inning of every game, and so we have to fill that position, and that's tough because Zach was a great player, a great defensive player, and the pitching staff will. But I would say at this stage we probably have Christian Griffiths as a senior, Eric Smith, a junior, and Wayne Taylor, a very talented freshman, are all probably competing for that spot, and we may platoon that a little bit, but that is a question mark. As far as our pitching staff is concerned, we're fortunate we have Mark Appel will be back. He's our Friday starter. Again, tremendous fastball. He'll be a high draft pick in June because he throws it, 96 miles an hour. But it's great to have him back. He pitched phenomenal for us last year. Last year at this time, I think Brett Mooneyham was actually our Friday starters for his freshman and sophomore year. Cut his finger and really was lost to the season. Severed his tendon and took a year recovery. So we have Brett Mooneyham back, and he'll start on Saturdays. And then our Sunday starter will be either AJ Venegas, a sophomore from the Alameda area, or Dean McCardle, who's a junior, who's been a starter, middle relief. So one of those 2, AJ Venegas or Dean McCardle, will be our Sunday starter. The other one will go into the bullpen. I think the biggest question mark for us, which were the biggest loss that we have and the biggest void for us to fill, will be that closer role. And I think in college baseball, it's getting like professional baseball, that if you're going to be a dominant team or you want to get to postseason, you better have one of your better pitchers in the bullpen. And last year we had a great one in Chris Reed, a left-handed closer who was a first-round draft pick of the Dodgers, and obviously he signed. And we have we've got a number of players we think can fill that role, but they've got to do it. So that'll be, as far as the pitching staff is concerned, that'll be the biggest hole for us to fill. I think defensively, having everybody back with the exception of the catcher will help us. We should be a solid defensive team again, but it all gets down to pitching, especially with the new bat. As not as much offense in college baseball, it gets down to pitching. And if I look at our league, I think our league is. I don't know really. I was asked the other day by Neil, who's favored. I think there's 5 or 6 teams that can win the league realistically. And I think it really gets to pitching. I think Arizona State has 2 starting pitchers back. Cal's got 2 outstanding starting pitchers. We've got Mark Appel, the one. If you've got good pitching, and we all think we have young arms that can develop, if you got returning pitching and you got some young freshman arms or sophomore arms that develop, I think that's what it gets down to. I think that normally, at the end of the season, when you've won the league or you've been really successful and you've had a great season, I think the other thing that happens to you is that your juniors and your seniors have their best seasons. When you usually fall short, it goes the other way. Usually your juniors and seniors don't have their best seasons. And I think that's the key to our conference. As Neil mentioned, the conferences, the Pac-12, we had Utah. We still play the round robin. We're not in division, so I think obviously the Pac-12 baseball conference we think is probably the best in the country. Our RPI as a conference, if you look at the RPI and the rankings of the 11 teams in our league, I think 8 of the 11 are in the top 20 as our strength of schedule is concerned. So we have a great league, very competitive, and it's hopefully, I would think we get 6 or 7 teams out of those 11 into the NCAA postseason, which is really a reflection of the strength of our league and the teams in it. As far as our schedule is concerned, we have it's probably the best homes. Last year was the toughest non-schedule that we've ever had here. We had to go on the road because of a scheduling difficulty with Texas, so we went to Rice, to Vanderbilt, and to Texas. This year we have those 3 teams coming to Stanford. We open our season February 17th with a very Vanderbilt team, ranked 10th in the country, went to the World Series last year. They'll come here and open up at Stanford. February 17th is the first day, followed by the University of Texas, who also went to the College World Series last season and is ranked in the top 10. Then we go to Fresno State. We haven't played them for a while. And then our final non-league opponent at Stanford again on I think March 9th is Rice University, another quality team. So I think after those 4 weekends, we'll have a pretty good idea of how we stand, how our pitching is, and what we need to do to improve, because those are quality opponents, and I think it'll prepare us for our Pac-12 opener when USC comes here. I think they open up March 24th at Stanford. So we're excited. It's college baseball. People ask me what's the state of college baseball, and I've coached a lot of years, and college baseball has never been healthier. Never been healthier. You talk to people at the NCAA, the regional attendance, super regional attendance, open up a brand new beautiful ballpark in Omaha with the Cal team, obviously, and talking to Dave, and he can comment on that, what a fantastic facility, broke attendance records. ESPN, who's done a great job for college baseball for many years, has increased the interest in college baseball, building new stadiums. St. Mary, if you're an athletic director and you're building a new baseball field, you have strong support for college baseball. And again, going through the Cal situation last year, your alumni come up. That shows the importance of college baseball to the University of California and to their alumni. So it's as healthy as it's ever been, and we're really looking forward to a great year and hopefully a very successful season.
Mark, you were not a fan of the new baseball, the new bats at the beginning of last year. After going through a complete season and seeing how it turned out, what did you think of that move?
Well, first I would have to say I think the change is here to stay. So I was a little skeptical, still am. I think when the college baseball before last year was at the height of its popularity, I think anything that you do to change the offense or decrease the offense is very risky. I think you'll find that at Major League Baseball also. I think the new ballparks aren't as spacious as they were before. Let's face it, the average baseball fan likes runs being scored. Baseball purists like 2-to-1 game, great pitch game. I think that's a risk. It didn't hurt us last year. Okay. The other thing is that people will say, well, that's the way baseball will be played. Well, I guarantee you, third and fourth hitters in the big leagues aren't bunting. Sack bunting. College baseball, third and fourth hitters are sack bunting. So it's not the same. Okay, it's not the same. So I wasn't a big advocate of it. Obviously, I didn't think there was a big complaint about it, but it's happened, and I don't believe it's. I know it's not going to change. So you need to adjust to it. Players need to adjust. I think the point was made, which is a good one. Made is that the adjustment won't be as drastic once the high school players have used that bat come to college. I think the college coaches, I think we've ball and made an adjustment in style of play, okay? Not sitting back waiting for the 3-run homer to come. And I think this year, the coaches will have a better response to that. But I think all of us have changed our offensive philosophy and how we're trying to approach it, because the bat has made a difference. And but again, hopefully it doesn't hurt our attendance. It didn't last year, and I think the players will adjust to it. But I think the end point is good. We go from 15 home runs, and you're a home run hitter, and you hit 4 or 5. You haven't changed. So it is an adjustment, but it is what it is.
So is the new bat actually less lively than the wood?
I don't believe so. I think if you hit it in the sweet spot, I think the biggest difference is, I always felt, because all the players go out and play in summer leagues and use wood. You can still use wood.